Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, peep game. You know, I debated long and hard. Was I gonna talk about this particular subject? And I decided to talk about this particular subject because, well, um, sometimes you have to give your perspective of a certain situation, and sometimes you gotta give your opinion based off the popular opinion versus the unpopular opinion. Basically, not following a trend or following a pattern, basically following your own path to truth. And yeah, I just wanted to give my honest opinion on this because like I said before, I've done my research. I've I'm not gonna say I've followed this case closely or this incident, but I've paid attention to it enough to where I could give a fair assessment of the situation. And keep in mind, I've talked to other people about it, and what I'm about to say may be unpopular with a certain demographic, but at the end of the day, ask me, do I give a fuck? Once again, I'm not here to make friends. Once again, I'm not here to say what you think I should say or what's popular. You know, I, I'm I don't do politically correctness. And once again, I don't go with the tides. And once again, I can't be bullied by anybody. You know, I don't fall into the trend of I got to side with this particular group because political correctness and all that type of shit. I really give my honest opinion. Now, like I said, I've talked to quite a few people about this particular subject, and I just want to give my honest opinion about it. I've talked to a lot of women about this particular subject, and to no avail, they laid it out. They were subjective about this particular subject. They gave their honest opinion based off what they heard and the research they did. And once again, I want to say this isn't a gender thing. So you could save that gender card shit that some of y'all sisters like to pull whenever somebody say something that you don't like or the conversation may not go in your favor. And you try to pull, it's because they're this or they're that. No, has nothing to do with that because I'm about to go back down memory lane. Now, I've been following, like I said, and paid attention to this whole Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez situation about Tory Lanez supposedly shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. And now, Tory Lanez is being charged and he's looking at some football numbers as far as jail time go. But I want to provide some information that, once again, certain media is leaving out and certain content creators on YouTube is leaving out because they want to push a certain agenda as far as this whole Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez situation go. They want to push a certain situation or a certain agenda about. Basically, it comes down to, once again, trying to demonize and dehumanize, black men and vilify black men. As I'm just adding that all together. And this whole situation with Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez, I got to give my honest opinion about it. I think Megan Thee Stallion is a liar, and I think she's lying on Tory Lanez, and I don't fucking believe that he shot her. I believe she was coached into doing this. I believe that she was told to do this because, one, she kept changing her story. And I don't believe that she changed her story because she was, afraid of him or something like that, or she was trying to protect him. I believe that it's the other way around, that they're trying to damage Tory Lanez' reputation, because keep in mind, Tory Lanez had got some dirt on his former record label, Interscope, and he basically said that he was going to go public with it. Now, keep in mind, he had went through a lot of issues with the record label. He raps and he sings, but he wanted to do more rapping than singing. And of course, you had the record label that wanted to present him as a singer. And he was like, hey, I'm nice on this mic, let me do my thing. So, of course, what a lot of record labels do, they have you record a whole bunch of music, you present it to them, you turn it into them, and then if they don't like it, they'll shelf you. They'll put your music on the shelf. They won't put it out. But then they also have it fixed to where, in most cases, in your contract, you can't go record with any other record label. You exclusively signed to them. They own the rights to your music. They own the rights to your publishing. They own all that stuff. So you sort of like being basically enslaved, because that's what it come down to. But basically, he said that he had some dirt on Interscope, and he said if they didn't release him and give him ownership of all his music, he was going to reveal it. So, with that being said, they released him. And, they released him. He owns all the rights to his music. He owns his reels. He owns his publishing. And I think that's the way to go. But keep in mind, there's always been this issue with black artists and publishing and owning the reels. Ray Charles was one of the rare incidents where he owned his own reels and he owned a lot of his music, where you had Sam Cooke, who was in a horrible situation. He had a lot of disloyal people around him, including his wife. His wife was a disloyal person. Now, Sam Cooke, he had his issues, but at the end of the day, he did try to do right. He was a dude that wanted to do right by black artists. He set out to start a record label where he was going to try to help black people take ownership of their music. And as you guys know, he mysteriously ended up dead in a story that is so far-fetched on how he allegedly was shot and killed, to where you just shaking your head like, okay, this got to be a joke. And keep in mind, any artist that tried to get, for the most part, that was seeking ownership of their reels, their publishing, their music, mysteriously ended up dead. Michael Jackson, Prince, a couple of other people. But I'm just bringing that, to y'all attention. One way to put a person in a position to where you can try something with them is to character assassinate. And Megan Thee Stallion is affiliated with Jay-Z. And if you listen to Tory Lanez songs, he's talking about some of the stuff that went on in the industry, talking about that Megan Thee Stallion got sworn in to the Illuminati and all that kind of stuff. So, he's made songs discussing the situation. So, I'm just telling you now, if something mysteriously ends up happening to Tory Lanez, well, just remember where you heard it from. But at the end of the day, I just think that Megan Thee Stallion is being coached into saying this stuff. Like I said, I don't trust anybody that's affiliated with Jay-Z. Keep in mind, rumors had came out that Jay-Z was going to try to sneak and sign that rat. You know who. But then when it was put out that that was something that he was pursuing, well, instantly they responded saying, oh, that's not true. Nah, that's not true. Well, first of all, it wouldn't surprise me that Jay-Z was signed to snitch because he has a snitch working for him running, running his company. Documented snitch. I'm talking about a real documented snitch. A lady that got caught with, man, she got caught with some major weight. She got caught with some major weight. So that just goes to show you Jay-Z's character. So for people that was saying, well, why would Jay-Z sign a snitch? Well, he got a snitch working with him. Informant. Informer. He like you boom boom down. No, I'm just keeping it 100. Like I said, this need to be said. I think Megan Thee Stallion is lying. I think she was coached into saying this stuff. And the damage is being done. You had all these simple-minded rappers, these hypocritical rappers talking about, oh, well, what Tory Lanez did is despicable, and these are the same dudes that beat the hell out of they girlfriends and all that kind of stuff and doing all kind of shit. So the hypocrisy is just amazing, but that's how you start setting things up. What you do is you ruin the person's reputation. You do image damage to the person's image and his reputation. So if something does happen to this person, then there's not a lot of sympathy for this person. And I think that's what they doing to Tory Lanez. Now, I don't know if he on some kind of list, but at the end of the day, let's not try to make it look like this isn't something to look into, that this is some kind of coincidence that when he gets ownership of, his music, then you start hearing negative shit about him. So I'm just keeping it 100. I'm not worried about any backlash, people coming on my channel talking shit. At the end of the day, you come on my channel being disrespectful, you just gonna get blocked. And that's just the bottom line. But yeah, I had to tell my truth and give my opinion on this situation. You can either like it or not like it. But at the end of the day, it's my opinion. And you could say that shit about you just side with Tory Lanez because he's the man. And like I said, Megan Thee Stallion can say that shit about black women are unprotected. There's brothers every day fighting for black women. So stop it. The same situation with Megan Thee Stallion is the same situation about Jussie Smollett when he faked the hate crime. When you first heard about this, you was like, okay, you tried to ride for him, because one agenda they was start trying to push is, the black community has turned their back on Jussie Smollett because he was attacked. He's a victim of a hate crime, and black people are not supporting him because of his sexuality, and that was a lie. You heard plenty of people say, hey, that's messed up and we need answers and we gonna get to the bottom of this. But when it was all said and done, it turns out that he was pretty much lying about what happened to him. So Jussie Smollett turned out to be a liar. So once again, you can save that gender shit. This your boy Town Biz. I'm out.